Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode 76, and today we're returning with a brand new season as our 9th year with Cardiff City gets underway today. Today we'll see pre-season, a look at the crazy World Cup over the summer, and of course the transfer special as well, which was very interesting indeed. So let's just get straight to it. It was one of the most interesting windows, and I'll explain why towards the end of it, because I'm not going to show you all the signings in the traditional format, and again, I'll explain why as we reveal them. But we'll start with departures as we always do, beginning with the players that were released at the end of the season, and there was only really one noteworthy player that was given a free, and that was of course Vic Camarasa. We let go of some of our youngsters who just weren't good enough for the club, but Camarasa, Big Dick Vic, kind of gutted to see him leave, but he wanted to leave last year, and he said he's going to leave at the end of his contract, which he did, and he's gone back to his native Spain and joined Espanyol on a 2-year deal. I did try and offer him a contract towards the end of his deal, but he was like, nah, mate, I've had my mind made up since last summer. I'm finished here. So it was a shame to see Camarasa leave the way he did, but Vic Camarasa had him since season 1, and of course now he's gone. It's the end of an era. He was the only player left in the Cardiff City squad that we inherited from season 1 back when we took over. So now Camarasa is gone. It is the truly end of an era. It's truly the end of an era now as Camarasa has left. And again, shame the circumstances how he left, but either way, great service he gave us for the past 8 years. He was just so consistent and a really good player for us. But as to the other departures, we'll start with some loans. Also, you can see some young talents here. Let go on loan: Yates, Jones, Jarman to the Den, and also as well, Mika Murray. One to keep your eye on there, this left back. He actually looks pretty decent. This young talent had a good year at Leyton Orient last year, and now he's gone back to League Two, playing for Barry at Gig Lane. And also as well, Jezza Green back out on loan to Sassuolo for a year. We'll see how he gets on there in Italy. Also Mesaidi Brahim, the young Moroccan midfielder. He's gone back to America last year at Seattle Sounders, now to Atalanta United. So first the West Coast, now the East Coast. And is that right? I'm pretty sure that's right. And also as well, there was one other loan to report, and that was Pirai. That's a new signing, but I'll get to him in just a moment's time. Now moving on to the actual sales from the club, and there were 4 big departures over the summer for Cardiff City. And if you remember last season, the summer window, we kept the band together. We didn't sell anyone, but this year, going back to the Champions League once again, I felt as though I needed to make a statement. You know, as a new chairman at the club, it's the end of an era now that Camarasa has gone. I wanted to cut out some of the players who sort of like are fringe players but don't really justify their salary, or players that are coming towards their 30s or in their 30s who we could improve on for the new season. And as you can see, we've got 4 sales to report here, starting with Scott McTominay, who went to Inter with 7.5 mil. I tweeted about this yesterday, man. I was gutted to let McTominay go, but I rejected a bid from Dynamo Kiev, funnily enough, and he was like, come on mate, let me go, I'm not playing here. And instead of standing in his way and saying, no, you got 1 more year left in your deal, I thought Scott McTominay, for his tireless work, for his fantastic stats that I love, and for all the years of service he gave us, I felt he deserved a clean exit and not me standing in his way and making it more difficult. I felt we owed Scott McTominay that. So McTominay went for 7.5 mil. He's gone to the San Siro, and for 24 million pounds. We'll see how he gets on there in Inter Milan. Also as well, Rob Holding left the club, the 30-year-old, soon to turn 31-year-old centre-back. He's gone to Manchester United, last year's Premier League champions, for 21 million pounds with clauses, could reach 26.5 million. Might be considered under sale, but Rob Holding was never happy when he was here because he just never was in the first team. Only last season was he consistently in the first 11, and that was due to Kimpembe's injury at the end of the season. So we sold Holding, and I was fine letting Rob go. So I'm tempted to give João Carlos some more minutes this year, the young Brazilian teenager. So he's gone to Manchester United. Also Ben Woodburn, this is the biggest sale of the window. I didn't plan this, but a bid came in for our Welsh striker, and it was from Brighton. £30 million for Ben Woodburn. That's not bad when you think about it, because his goal to game ratio here was absolutely terrible. You know, in the Europa League he was pretty decent, but domestically this guy could not hit a barn or a banjo. He scored like 1 or 2 Premier League goals a year. He just wasn't worth 75 grand a week, so he gets rid of that big contract which he definitely didn't justify. And £30 million, we only signed him for 5.5 mil, so that's a massive profit on Woodburn. We'll definitely take that. And the main sale was James Ward-Prowse. He's gone to Everton for £20 million. He was in the final year of his contract. I decided to cash in on him. Again, it could be classed as a bit of an undersale, but we've replaced him with someone better for around the same sort of fee. And I got to be honest, it was one of my big targets for the window to get him. So Ward-Prowse is a casualty of a new signing, and I think it was the right sale as well. So Ward-Prowse gone. So 4 big sales there, and in total, £84 million raised in the summer window. We had £121 million to start with, and we also raised more money through those sales as well. Very happy with the departures, and now let's move on to the signings, which was, again, a crazy window. Very, very big. A new club record signing, veteran freebie, academy, youngsters for the academy. Great window. Can't wait to show you what I've signed. And so it only makes sense to start off with the player you already saw on the list of departures, Pirai, the young Brazilian right winger who he immediately loaned out to Udinese. This is a young teenager from South America we signed for £8.25 million. That was his minimum fee release clause to foreign clubs. And we sent him to Italy for the year. And they're going to pay £2.5 million for the year, plus his wages as well. So already we've clawed back about a quarter, or over a quarter, the transfer fee we literally just paid for him. So good business in my opinion. He's got a youth work permit anyway, so he's going to play for us this season regardless. So it just made sense to loan him out, get some first team football elsewhere, and we'll see how he gets on at Udinese. But he looks pretty decent. You know, he's relatively quick, technically not bad, already 15 crossing on just a 19-year-old as well, and could be one to watch for the future. And out of the 11 signings I actually made, I'm only going to show you 5 in this order and then show you the other 6 afterwards, because, I mean, you'll see why in just a moment's time. But we'll move on to another young Brazilian that we signed in the summer. You got to love the Brazilian new gen / regions and FM. South America is just rife with amazing young talent as the game goes on. But Guilherme is the next player I'll show you. We signed him from Grêmio in the summer for 11.25 mil. I think it was 10.5 mil in the summer. And he's played 3 full seasons in Brazil. He's 21 years old, and I mean, you can see exactly why I've signed this guy. I mean, I was manual searching in the summer, as I always do, and this guy popped up, and I thought he has got to be in a Cardiff City shirt next season, because this is a young defensive midfielder / central midfielder with physical stats which aren't that bad. 19 balance, very nice. 18 stamina, very good as well. Technically not bad. 16 first touch. 19 technique is really nice as well. 12 marking and 12 passing and 13 marking as well. But the main reason I got this guy are his mental stats here. 17 teamwork, 18 work rate, 19 determination. I just saw this guy and I was like, right, pick him up with a driven personality as well. My favourite personality. He's already described as a tireless midfielder. This guy is a workhorse and he embodies the sort of character of the club we're assembling. The players are assembling to the club here at Cardiff City. 10.5 million, only 21 years old as well, so he's got lots of room to get better as well. Out of 19 determination, 18 work rate, I'm pretty sure he will too. Now, he's playing as a deep line playmaker. That's his natural role, but I don't see this guy as a deep line playmaker personally with only 12 for passing. I think this guy should be a ball midfielder. I really do. With the mental stats he's got, you know, he's not slow. He's quick enough to chase balls around, and 18 stamina, so he'll never get tired on the pitch as well. And again, 16 bravery, 17 teamwork, 18 work rate. To me, this guy is a ball midfielder, and that's why right now we're training him to play there. And now he'll be our backup for McKennie and the replacement for Scott McTominay. He's a lot smaller than McTominay, but when you compare the two, here we are, where you compare the two, you can see, I don't think Guilherme is that much worse than Scott McTominay. And don't forget, he's also 8 years younger, but soon to be 9 years younger than Scott as well. So plenty of time for him to get better than Scott. Obviously, he's a lot shorter. I mean, he's an awful lot shorter, just 5'7", with Scott towering above him at 6'4". But either way, when you look at the attributes here, you can see he looks good to me. He looks very good indeed. He's got better work rate. He's got the same amount for teamwork, better determination as well, a little bit more stamina, much more balance, and again, technically too, looks a little bit better than Scott as well. So Guilherme is Scott McTominay's replacement, and I'm very happy with that signing. With the stats he's got mentally, you can tell exactly why. This is the sort of player I want at this Cardiff City club. If you thought I'd turn down those sort of stats, you must be mental. Okay, so next signing is Virgil van Dijk. Oopsie, that's just revealed without even going into him. Oh, you know it is, the veteran freebie, Virgil van Dijk. To be fair, if you follow me on Twitter, most of you guessed who this was yesterday regardless. Virgil van Dijk is my token veteran freebie for the year, and I gotta say, what a steal this is. What an absolute bargain. Virgil van Dijk, player of the year this year in real life in the Premier League. So now we've got Van Dijk and Sterling at the Cardiff City Stadium, albeit several years older than they actually are in real life. But Van Dijk, regardless, at 35, has still got it. Now, he's not quick at all, but he's still got 14 strength, 17 jumping, 15 balance at 6'4" as well. So he's very, very tall, as we know. Mentally, this guy reads the game incredibly well, as we've seen throughout his time at Liverpool, Southampton, and Celtic too, with 17 positioning, 17 determination. Absolutely love that. And technically too, he's a good ball playing defender, as we've seen. 15 first touch, 17 passing, with 18 heading, 16 marking, and 17 tackling as well. On a free transfer, he's still described as an elite centre-back. I got to say, this is an absolute bargain, and perhaps the best free transfer we've picked up in the save so far. It is 72 grand a week. It's a very expensive contract. There's an optional 1-year contract extension as well if we choose to trigger it come come the end of the season or midway through the season, whatever we fancy. So it's a 1-year deal. And again, it could turn into 2. But again, even on 72 grand a week, I think he deserves it. He's still absolutely well-class despite his age. And he's not taken that much of a hit in his stats, it suggests as well. So Van Dijk is in. He's got winner's mentality. As we've seen throughout the save, Liverpool have been so dominant domestically in this save. So Van Dijk comes in, 1/2 year deal. This is an absolute steal. What a bargain. And with just 2 signings to show you before I reveal the other 6 all in one go, we will go with the second most expensive sign in the window and a replacement for James Ward-Prowse as well. And I've had my eye on this guy for 2 or 3 years now. I could have loaned him in last year, but I decided against it. We got him permanently this year for an absolute bargain. Alan Ramsden is our replacement for James Ward-Prowse, and I have got to be honest here, this is one of the steals of the save. This is a 21-year-old English central midfielder that we picked up from Manchester City for way under his market valuation of just £34.5 million. Now, 2 years ago, I wanted to sign this guy on a permanent deal, but City would not part ways with him at all, and they were asking for like £100 million, and I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen, is it, at 19 years old? So I was like, no way, not a chance in hell am I paying that. But this year, I decided to be a little bit strategic in my pursuit of this young midfielder. And basically, in Football Manager, you can, I mean, I can't do it on my own player, but basically, you can target other players and talk about them in the media. And sometimes it rattles them, sometimes it gets a response out of them, say they want to leave the club, it causes a little bit of a dressing room rift. That's exactly what I did in the summer, tried to cause a little bit of speculation. Ramsden said he wanted to go. I put in a bid to City of 60 million, they rejected it, and then they put him on a transfer list for 34.5 million. I was willing to pay almost double that. In the end, we get him for an absolute steal. 34.5 mil, absolute bargain as Man City let him go. And you can see exactly why I want this guy. Now, physically, this guy is the complete package. He is quick, he's full of legs, 16 stamina, 16 natural fitness with 19 for balance as well, and 16 strength to at 6 foot, so not a small lad at all. Mentally, the guy's got excellent stats in the right areas, 16 determination, 16 teamwork, 14 work rate, and 17 for vision with 15 positioning as well. And technically too, he's still really decent. And don't forget, he's only 21 years old. Dribbling 13, first touch 13, passing 16. Very good indeed with 13 long shots. As a box-to-box midfielder, he is the complete package with more emphasis on the defensive side, but either way, he looks really, really good. And again, doing the James Ward-Prowse role, I was a deep line playmaker or the box-to-box. Either one of those are fine. And you go, with his range of stats, really, he could do any role. He could do literally any role through the central midfield area in this team. That's why I'm so glad to have him. He looks absolutely fantastic. He's 21 years old as well. 70 grand a week deal. So he's not getting paid more than James Ward-Prowse. It's the exact same contract Ward-Prowse is on. 5-year contract. This is an absolute bargain, and I'm so glad to have him as well. Ramsden in, the Ward-Prowse replacement, 10 years younger, already better, with potential to become a superstar in world football. Brilliant signing. And as we move on to the final signing of the window, this is a new club record transfer fee for Cardiff City. And all I'll say is I hope this signing is worth every single penny, but I believe he will be. Now, this is a long-term replacement for our captain. We've had the legend of Jason. Now, is there going to be a new legend of Dennis? Welcome to Cardiff City Football Club, Matthias Dennis, a French/Nigerian, funnily enough, a French right winger that we signed from Lyon for £65 million, hence why I gave him the number 65, because we don't really have any crazy squad numbers here at Cardiff. I like crazy squad numbers every now and then, and that's what Dennis is going to wear. He's going to remind everyone just how much he costs. He's going to play up to the price tag and prove he's worth all the money. Now, he spent 5 years at Lyon, he spent 4 years at Lyon and 1 year at Napoli as well, playing first team football. And as you can see, he's been averaging very high ratings whilst he's been playing in France as well. He's not had anything under a 7.25 in his time as a regular member of Lyon's side. I really, really rate that for such a young winger. And this guy's got some absolutely fantastic stats as well. Now, he is absolutely explosive. He is so quick. He is rapid. He's the road runner. 18 acceleration with 18 pace and 20 agility as well. We've got so many players that have got such high agility. I really like that. And on a winger as well, on a wide midfielder or a fullback, it's so crucial. They've got stamina and can run for days. This guy definitely can. 17 stamina, 15 natural fitness, so you can bomb up and down the flank all game long and not get tired. Mentally, the guy's got some great stats as well. 15 determination, you know I like that, but I like even more, 17 work rate and 17 teamwork. So he's going to be a star of the team, but he still cares about the team. You got to love that. 17 teamwork and 17 flair as well, so a touch for the unexpected. I like that a lot, with 15 off the ball as well, a very crucially underrated stat on a a winger. And technically too, the guy's got some great technical stats here. 15 technique, very nice indeed. 12 passing, not the best, but 13 first touch, 13 dribbling, and 17 for crossing. The key stat on a winger. So he's got the pace, but also the end product to match it as well. So Dennis comes in, again, 65 million. There was interest from Barcelona and from Chelsea in the summer, but we snapped him up before he could go elsewhere. It's a 5-year deal, £140,000 a week. Interestingly enough, he's still not being capped by France, which is a surprise because with the stats he's got, and again, he's backed it up through his past 4 years playing for Lyon as well. I don't know why he's not got a call-up yet. There's a chance he might end up representing Nigeria in the future, but either way, he comes in, and all I'll say is I hope he's worth the contract. It's very, very expensive indeed, but £65 million, new club record signing, and the pressure of being a long-term replacement for Jason as well. Let's see how he gets on. And so those are the 5 main signings of the window. Now, there were 6 other signings as well, but the reason I didn't reveal them one by one is because it would be pretty pointless, really. These guys right here are basically just young talents. They are all 18 years old or younger, but, I mean, you guys know what I'm like. I am a freak. I am a weirdo. I am such a loser. And, I mean, I have just a very weird fixation with things that most people don't care about. But the reason I picked these guys up is because I wanted to fill out our academy and our under-23s as well. We have quite a small under-23 squad and quite a small under-18 squad as well. And the reason why is because whenever we get youth candidates, I mention this every year, whenever we get youth candidates, most of the time, our head of youth development says they're all rubbish, only sign 3 or 4 of them. So we actually have quite a small youth academy compared to a lot of other clubs. So what I want to do is fill that out and bring in some young 18, 19, 17-year-olds. And as you can see, these players right here, they come in on frees or very cheap transfers, and you know why I sign them here. These are the stats that I find most crucial on a young player. They've got determination, they've got teamwork, they've got work rate. All of these players that we picked up here either on frees after being released by other professional clubs. They've got either good determination, good work rate, or good teamwork, or some combination of the lot. And the other players we put a transfer fee in are for Kendrick from Rochdale, £6,000 with some lovely mental stats here, just 16 years old. This Icelandic midfielder that I really like. 20 determination, 16 work rate, 15 teamwork, 16 stamina, 15 strength. I like this kid. This wasn't just a rubbish signing. I actually like this kid a lot. I think he could be a cheap little wildcard option for us here on £3,000 a week for, what was it, 125 grand? That's basically nothing, isn't it? And you can see here the last one was Jonathan Orme, a right back from Bournemouth as well, which paid £450,000, £275,000 from as well. And again, the main reason we signed him was just to put him in the under-18s, put him in the under-23s, just give us more squad depth. And again, it basically, what I want this to do is I wanted to sort of show the other youngsters around the club, this is what you need to have if you're going to play in my team. These are the stats you need to have. You know, your physicals, your technicals, very nice indeed, but your mentals are the most important thing in this side. And they're screaming, you must be mental, Gaffer. And I'm like, yes, I am indeed. But that's why we signed these guys, very cheap transfers. And I guess just to fill out the academy in the under-23s, as it was looking quite bare. But these guys embody the spirit of Cardiff City Football Club. Listen, are they going to play for the club in the future? Probably not. Will they be released in 4 or 5 years' time? Almost definitely. But whilst they're here, they add squad depth, and again, they embody the sort of culture that I'm building here at Cardiff City. I'm so weird. I'm sending a statement out to our youth prospects, our academy graduates, and our youth candidates for this year as well. I'm sending out a statement. Those are the stats I'm looking for. Those are the stats to get you a pro deal here. Either develop them or come in with them. Otherwise, leave. You're not worth it. I don't want you. But anyway, moving on to the team report. And as you can see, there are a lot more strengths than weaknesses at this club right now, which is, of course, very nice to see indeed. And as for the squad depth as well, we haven't really made that many strides forward in the summer with our squad depth. In fact, what you could say is we made a step back in a couple of areas, particularly in the striker role, where, of course, after selling Ben Woodburn and not replacing him, Maria and Antonio are our only 2 options for the striker role. Josh Cotterill would be our 3rd choice option at this rate, and he might even leave the club on a loan deal if a work permit goes through in a couple of weeks' time as well. So the striker role, we've actually got less depth in this year, so I'm putting a lot of faith in Maria and Antonio this year. And as for the centre-back role, of course, no holding now. Van Dijk comes in to cover, and yeah, I'd say it's about the same as last year, the squad depth, but there is a slight improvement in quality, I would say, for the new season. As for the finances, as you can see, we've given £121 million spent in the summer, and after lots of departures and the new signings as well, we didn't actually lose that much money. There's now £39.3 million in the bank balance, and there's £44 million in the transfer budget. There's still a lot of room to work with, a lot of money to work with in January if we'd like to sign some new players. But instead, I'm actually more focused on improving the club as opposed to just signing new players. As we saw at the end of last season, there's a stadium expansion currently underway. It's going to be completed in November. November, so we've only got another 3 months to wait until that is officially filled out, and we've got around 42,000 seats now at the Cardiff City Stadium. And also as well, I asked the board literally just before today's episode, if we could improve our youth facilities too. That's going to take over a year to do, but it's great to know we're improving that aspect of our club as well, because again, the money in FM is always useful for more reasons than one. It's not just to sign new players, it's to improve the club as a whole, and that's what we're starting to do as well. So I like what we're doing, and as well, I've asked the board too, it doesn't show it here, but I've asked the board if we can improve our youth recruitment too, so we can hopefully get a few more youth prospects into our academy set up right from the get-go. Moving on to the dynamics, and you can see there are currently 2 issues here. Maria is disappointed he wasn't able to join Arsenal. The Gunners put a bid in the summer, and it was like £60 million, and I was like, don't even bother, that is just stupid. He requested a transfer a few days ago, and I said, fine, you want to leave the club, you can leave the club, but I'm not letting you go for anything under £150 million. I've already made my statement to Maria. He wants to be put on the transfer list. I've accepted his request, but he's not leaving unless we get over £100 million for him. So far, not a single bid has come in for Paleo that's been over £100 million, and I don't care what his market valuation suggests. £67 million, he's worth far more than that. Back-to-back Golden Boot winner, elite forward, one of the world's football global superstars. You think he's only worth £67 million? Rubbish. He's worth way over £100 million. What striker in world football right now has these stats? I'll tell you, no one. So I'm not selling him for under £100 million. If we get £100 million plus, he can go. Otherwise, forget it. And I want £150 million, which again, I think is definitely achievable for Maria. But he's got 3 years left in his deal regardless, whether he wants to leave or not. You know, tough luck, player, you're staying. And Sterling as well, not happy that Dennis is going to take his position in the team. But Raheem, mate, you're 31 years old now. You're going to turn 32 in December. Just leave it, mate. Be a bench player and come off the bench and just embrace that role. Team cohesion is very good. The dressing room atmosphere is very good. And the manager's support is also very good as well. As the hierarchy of the club, as you can see, our team leaders for the new season are Maria, Sessegnon and Onana as well, as Jason renounced his team leader position towards the end of last season. I've got to explain it at the season finale, but Jason's renounced his position as team leader, but he still does wear the captain's armbands. I just can't bear to take it off him, although I do wish he'd retire, to be honest. And as for the social groups as well, everyone right now is in the core, apart from 2 of our new signings called Lerme and Dennis, who are both in the other group. And the last couple of things I'll show you before we move into the first game of the season is a look at pre-season and also what happened in the World Cup as well, which is incredibly interesting, and I'll explain why in just a moment's time. We had a tour of China in pre-season, and we only won 1 game against Beijing, so that was a pretty poor start for us, but we won every other game outside of that, and that included our Cardiff Cup. We won that as but Lenny Fernandez came home for the first time to play in the semi-final, and he was terrible as well. He actually assisted a Geordie goal, funny enough. A poor header went straight to our centre-back, who scored from that, and of course he smashed a Cardiff Corries in the annual Get the Testosterone Flying game. As for our fixture list this season as well, this is really interesting, but just like last year, if you remember, we started off with a tough run of fixtures to begin with, but at the end of the season, we ended with quite a routine end to the season, which is crucial as to how we managed to get into the top 4. Well, we won our remaining, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. We got the same thing this year. It's a tough start to the season, but towards the end of the season, we got a favourable run of fixtures. Norwich away, Sheffield Wednesday at home, Aston Villa away, Wolves at home, Brighton away, and Middlesbrough at home on the final day as well. So yeah, it's just like last year, our fixture list for this season, which is very interesting indeed. And that's what happened in the World Cup as well. This was very interesting indeed, but it was won by, we need a space there, it was won by, there we go, Germany, who beat the Netherlands in the final on penalties. Geordie didn't take one, but sadly he could not win the World Cup for us, or Van Dijk, of course, I suppose now as well, as Germany won the World Cup on the shootout. But it was interesting because, where are we here? Because it was hosted by 3 nations, America, Canada, and Mexico. And as you can see, there were 3 countries per group, and there were tons of group. In fact, it went all the way to P. It went all the way to P. Group P in the World Cup. How crazy is that? 3 nations per group, with 2 nations qualifying from each. So there were several knockout rounds as well. Just a bizarre way of doing things. I don't like this format at all. This is not how the World Cup should be, in my opinion. I'm all for trying new things, but no, this is just, I mean, look at the disparity as well. So many nations finished with 0 points. Sierra Leone, China, Costa Rica, Honduras, South Korea, Haiti. There were so many nations finishing with 0 points. And again, 2 qualifying per group. Nah, that's not how the World Cup should be, in my opinion. I'm all for trying for new things, but that was just ridiculous. But anyway, Germany won it, and there you go. And as for the season preview for the Premier League as well, just for those interested for the new year. We're apparently predicted to finish 6th place this year. Hopefully that doesn't happen, as I want us to finish in the top 4 once again. And as for the dream team for the year, I've lost her. As for the dream team of the year, we've got 2 players this year, Gonzalez and Dennis. Funny enough, Gonzalez, who last year was terrible, and Dennis, who's a new signing, are apparently part of the media dream 11. Not too sure about that. Oh, and as well, the competition reputation also rose by a position as well, and now the Premier League has the best stature in the world. Previously it was La Liga, but now the Premier League is regarded as the most reputable competition in world football. So, yeah, let's move on to the first game of the season. It is indeed Spurs away from home in the midday kickoff, and let's see if we can begin the season with a win away against the side who last year finished outside the European places. Now, as to the injury report, everyone is fit as we begin the new season. It's not going to last that long, though, as we know, after last season having an injury-plagued year. We're going to play the 4-2-3-1. It's our normal system, and this is our line. We've got Onana in goal, about for Goncalves, Kimpembe, Jordi, and Odriozola, with our midfield duo being Alenya and McKennie. Attacking midfield trio, Sessegnon left, Dennis getting his debut on the right-hand side, and the OG through the middle, supporting Paleo Maria up top. And on the bench, Henderson, Van Dijk, Stefano, Ramsden, Rabiot, Sterling, and Pedro Antonio as well. So first game, it's Spurs away. Let's get the win and start off strong. Come on, you Bluebirds. Calvis, out wide towards Ryan Sessegnon. And as our left winger storms down this flank here, can he whip one into the centre? He can indeed. And Maria is there. Oh, yeah. Now, that is the way to start the season. Paleo Maria has scored in an early big game. And he's the first Cardiff City goal scorer of the season. Now, we all know what Paleo's Achilles heel is. It's that he can't play in big games. And I decided to keep him here. I didn't undersell him and cash him because I still believe he can do it. 1-0. Last year he scored a hat-trick against Spurs as well in this fixture. So, as Odriozola found him, Maria puts it wide post. I still believe he can do it. You know, I know last season I said it was his last chance, but I still believe he can do it. He's 24 years old. He'll turn 25 during the summer. I still believe he can be a big game player at some point. Alenya through to Sessegnon. Very good first artist from Cardiff. As Sessegnon tries to cross, it will drop to the OG, who's found a bit of space. Oh, yes, and Gonzalez, who last year was terrible. Only 3 assists and 3 goals in his Premier League campaign. A terrible season after his great debut year. Has got his campaign up and underway. 35 minutes in. Sessegnon's second assist of the game already. Cross deflects off his man, but it drops to the Colombian, finds a pocket of space, and fires it past Rulli. 2-0. Well, the media said 6th place this year. And I said piss off, because we are better than that. You know, I said last year, I want us to be a Champions League team from here on out. You know, we're more than good enough to constantly be in the Europa League, but I want us to stay in the top 4 between now and the end of this save as Dennis. Oh, I would have loved to see Dennis get a goal in his debut. Denied by Rulli. Textbook first half though, 14 shots, 7 of which on target, and 56% possession with 86% pass completion ratio. We've played this first half to perfection. Alenya on the ball, plays a brilliant through ball's gone. Cowles is in. Oh, it's off the line. Oh, Helder. He's only scored 1 goal for us since we signed him back in, was it season 2 or season 3? Off the post and then off the line by that Belgian centre-half Boucher. Oh, man, that would have been glorious. What a ball it was. Now Alenya puts it wide the post. This has been fantastic. What a first half play. We are making a statement on the opening day. We are saying to the media, we're putting our middle finger up to the media, and we're saying 6th place. Put some respect on our name. We're Cardiff City. For my basketball fans out there, this is like when KD said in the shoot-around to the media at the Clippers game, I'm Kevin Durant. Y'all know who I am. We're Cardiff City. Y'all know who we are. You know who we are. We're Cardiff City, for goodness sake. 2-0 up here, 10 minutes after the restart, and we are just in control of things, away against Spurs, who again, don't forget, have got a point to prove after last year having a poor campaign. We've just been in control from the first whistle. I'm going to take Alenya off for Alan Ramsden to give him his debut, playing that deep line playmaker role. And I think I might also bring on Sessegnon too for Rabiot, the kid, and play him down that left-hand side. Piero, obviously last year, was fantastic in this breakthrough year for us, but Rabiot this season, I think, as well, has got to elevate his game. Oh, it's Alenya for squad, elevate his game even further. I want to see even more strides forward from Rabiot this season, and really assert yourself in this team. 10 minutes to go, still leading by 2. As Ramsden intercepts and clears it along to Rabiot, as the boys off the bench there will link up. And, oh, what? Oh, my. Oh, Maria just couldn't finish it. Fantastic stop by Rulli on the 1-0 from the tight tackle. But what a ball from Rabiota. You know, last year you saw it was his breakthrough season for us and he was so good. But again, this year, I wanted to make even more steps forward. The future is so bright for this young Italian. Great tackle as well. He's got the perfectionist personality, so he just continues to strive for better in his game. And again, that is just so important on a young player who already has good potential. And again, it's another fabulous ball by Piero, setting Maria up left, right and centre. And again, Maria can't apply the finishing touch. He scored once today, but he could have had a hat-trick. We're Cardiff City. Y'all know who we are. Y'all know who we are. You saw it last year. We didn't win a trophy last year. Our first after 3 seasons straight with one. But y'all know who we are. Y'all know who we are. Motivated, confident, assured, convinced and composed and calm. Body language is good. All the performances are great. Defensively fantastic. Onana starting off with a clean sheet as well. Like I said towards the end of last season, Andre Onana is beginning to shrug off that tag of error prone now. And I'm going to say to the boys, I'm going to keep it calm. I'm going to keep it calm. I don't need to be passionate or assertive. Just keep it calm. Well done, lads. Well done, lads. That was a good win for us. That was a good win for us. Don't need to go overboard. That was a good win. You did what we needed. You started the way I wanted you to start there. Impose yourself on the season. What a beginning to Season 9. I love our new signings, and I love the fact we still play like we are winners. And we started off with a win. That is a fantastic start, that. Brilliant beginning. I could not be happier with that start, man. I'm buzzing. So that was today's episode of the Football Manager series, guys. So big thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy today's episode, please drop a like, as likes are, of course, very much appreciated. And really help channel out as well. Much love to you all. Hope you enjoyed the season opener. And we'll come back in the very next episode with the Champions League group stage draw right at the start of the episode. And then a big doubleheader. Arsenal away at the Emirates Stadium. And in the first game of whatever that Champions League group opener is going to be. Hopefully, not Paris Saint-Germain or Bayer Leverkusen like last year. Have a great day, guys. Much love to you all. And I'll see you for next episode very soon. Y'all know who we are. Bye now.